Hi there, Year 3. So we're going to be doing some maths in a minute, and we're continuing to look at time and how to measure time. Now, this is one of my favourite lessons to teach, and I'm really sorry that we're not actually in school at the moment to teach this, but I think you're going to enjoy it anyway. So if we look at our learning intention, and it says, I can tell the time on an analog clock using Roman numerals. So there's a bit of a clue there. And then underneath, we've got over here all these different random, well, they look like lots of ones and V's and I's, don't they? But I wonder if you can have a little think and think about what these represent. You might already know, okay? But if you do already know, then you need to explain how you already know. And if you can do that, then underneath there's a challenge there for you. How would you write 21, 37, and in 19 using Roman numerals, which is what these are? But you need to think about what each one of these represent. Now, I think you should give yourself about 10 minutes to think about what each of these symbols represent, okay, and then explain how you know, and then challenge yourself if you can to write these numbers down here in Roman numerals. So you're going to pause the video now, pause me, and then come back in about 10 minutes, and then we'll go through this together. Okay, see you in 10 minutes. Bye-bye. Right, are you back? Did you have fun? Did you manage to get everything done? I hope so. Well done if you did. So when we look at these are, as you know, Roman numerals. And in Roman times, they didn't used to use the same numbers as we did. They used these symbols instead. So let's go through and look and see whether you got this right. So this one here, that's like an I, actually represents the number 1. Easy, I think you say. And then here we've got these 2 I's, and that represents the number 2. Okay, easy, quite straightforward. Now we come here, we've got 3. 1, 2, 3 I's, and they represent number 3. Then things get a little bit more tricky. We come here and we've got 1 I and we've got 1 V. That is tricky. However, if it goes in order, then that should say number 4. And then let's have a look at here. We've got a V here, and that by itself should be 5. Now, we're looking at this to give us a little bit more clue about some patterns, because if we know that this represents 5, and we look here, well, that's weird. So 5 cannot be 4, but 5 subtract 1, or 1 less than 5 is 4. So when we look at this Roman numeral, it means 1 less than 5, 4. So when we look here, why do you think the V comes first and then the I? Yep, you're right. This is from number 6. So 1 more than 5 is 6. So here we've got 1 less, so it comes with 4. 5 is 4, and 1 more than 5 is 6. Remember, 5 is V. So that makes things a bit easier. So now we've got 5 and 2 of these I's. So what number do you think that is? Yeah, you're right, 7. Oh, it's probably 7. And here, 5 and 1, 2, 3. 5 and 3 more is equal to 8. And we know it's more because these I's come after V. Oh, here we go, there's another tricky one down here. Because we've got an I, now we've got a new symbol there. We've got an X. Now, if we look at the order, we can see it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think you probably could say that's 9. And again, if that's 9, then this has got to be 10. So we know that this I symbol represents 1, the V symbol represents 5, and the X symbol represents 10. So here we've got 1 and a 10. So we've got 1 less than 10 is 9. Here we've got the X symbol, and then we've got a 1 or an I after it. So we've got 10 and 1. So that must be 11. And now we've got an X and 2 I's after it. So that must be 10, 11, 12. So there's 12. Okay, here's a question for you. Why do you think that we, the teachers, have gone up to 12, not 10 or 15 or 20 on this slide? Yep, you're right. It's because we're talking about time. And if we think about an analog clock, then we know that we have 12 numbers. So here you can see a clock with Roman numerals around it. And quite often, even nowadays, some people have these kind of Roman numeral clocks. I don't know why, but it's quite a fashion thing to have. So let's go and look around here. So up here, we've got an X, which means 10, that's right, and 2 ones after it. So that's number 12. Remember? Okay, so if we have an o'clock time, so if I write down here, big hand, there's my little hand going up there, what time would that say? Yeah, you're right, that would say 1 o'clock, because the big hand's pointed to the 12, and the little hand's pointed to the I, or the number 1. There we go. Right, I'm just going to rub out the middle bit quickly, and we can go around again. So, we know that that's number 12 at the top, and then we've got 1, and then what have we got next? Yeah, 2, absolutely. Of course, it's going to be 3, and then we've got an I, then a V, so it's 1 less than 5, which is 4. Well done. And then we've got a V, so that's got 5, and then opposite the 12 is a V and an I, which must be 5 and 1 more, 6. We've got 5 and 2 more, 7, 5 and 3 more, 8. I always think of Henry VIII when I see this. Quite often when you see monarchs, there's been more than one, they have a V in the eyes. So here we've got an X and an I, so that means 1 less than, that's it, remember, the X means 10, so that's 9. Now we've got 10 and 11. So there we go. You see that I've written all the numerals next to the Roman numerals, and you can see that they just represent the same things, and it's just the same as a clock. There are other places that you can see Roman numerals even today. I wonder if you can think of anything just as a challenge. Have a look around your house, and certain, how should we say, media appliances might have something on. So there's your clock, and I've put all the numbers that we recognise around today next to the Roman numerals. So let's go on to the next task. Aha! So here we've got some very nice clocks showing a Roman numeral time. Your challenge today is to convert the times on the clock to analog times. Okay, so I'm looking here, you just need to write them underneath. We'll do the first one together. So I'm looking here, don't forget you can go around and you can label all the times. And I think, if I'm right, in your resources pack, you should have a piece of paper and some instructions about how to make your own Roman numeral clock, which might help you. But if I was you and you're not sure still, I'd go around and make sure you label these so you know what each Roman numeral means. Going around just like I did on the big clock and labeling them. It's just hard on these little clocks to draw anything. Right, okay. 7, 8, so 1x, 9, okay. Then 10, 11. Of course, you don't have to do this if you're quite confident, then don't worry. So I'm looking at this here, and the big hand's pointing up to the X and 2 I's, which is 12, and then the small hand's pointing to the X, or the IX, which is 9. So therefore, the time on this clock is 9 o'clock. And underneath, I'm going to write 9 o'clock. Don't forget to write the times underneath your clocks, because otherwise it's really hard to know what time you're talking about. Right, okay, so there we go. I'm not going to do any more for you because I think, again, you can do those, you're quite capable. But enjoy them and have fun doing your Roman numerals. If you're finished and you think you'd like a challenge, then on the next page, we have a challenge. So here, not only do you have to convert the Roman times into 12-hour times, so the analog clock, also can you try and convert them into the 24-hour times? And if you look, there are some clues in the pictures about that as well. I'm not going to give you any more. So don't forget, your challenge today is to convert all these Roman numeral times into analog times and write it underneath. Okay, good luck. I think you're going to enjoy this one. I'll see you soon.